Welcome everybody to this in-home presentation of the secrets we're about to reveal tonight. Hope you all can hear me well. Brandon Mike here. Hope you all can hear me well. Definitely not going to keep you guys long. This presentation is about pulling back some curtains this evening, guys. And we're going to reveal some secrets tonight. Now, people all across this country are going to be seeing and hearing about this money makeover. That's just the bottom line, whether it's with me, whether it's one of my thousands upon thousands of business partners, right? So I'm going to need you. If you want this year to be the best year you ever had financially, I know we made some New Year's resolutions earlier. We may have fell off, right? Some people are ahead of the game, but if you aren't, you ought to want to stay tuned to this tonight. You're going to want to listen to this whole thing because I'm going to be giving away the secret tonight, guys. Because we're going to be talking about this money makeover. Everybody understand? We're going to be talking about this money makeover and how to get our finances in order. So yes, let me preface it by saying this, guys. There will be a small investment in yourself, right? Guess what? It's going to be truly, truly affordable. And if it's not, I'm going to show you how to make sure you can afford it. Okay. Now the thing about that is, if the cost of, like a night out on the town, a couple $100 or something, scares you, then guess what? You really need to be a part of this conversation. You really need to finish this out to the end. If a couple $100 something we go spend out at dinner or at the movies or on a pair of shoes or a purse or some boots or something, then if that can hurt you that bad, you definitely need to hear this conversation. All right. So now also, guys, what I'm about to be talking about, this is not conjecture. This is not my opinion. What I'm going to be sharing with you today are facts. These are facts about the rules and what keeps you broke in this country. These are going to be facts that I'm going to be sharing. In this game of capitalism, you either have to understand the rules that's being played, or you're going to be played by the rules of the game. There's just no two ways about it. Okay. Now, since learning about the power of a home-based business, I've actually increased my own cash flow, and income substantially just by understanding the power of a home-based business. It increased my cash flow substantially because it taught me, one, what cash flow was. Then it showed me how to redirect the cash flow back into my own home, to my own family, towards my children, and potentially one day my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So just learning about the power of that it just changed my own personal life just substantially. So with all that being said, guys, let's pull back the curtains. All right, now we're going to keep it real simple tonight. So for those that are here, they have a sheet. We're going to do a play-by-play sheet. It's called fill in the blanks. How simple is that, right? Since we did that way back in school, just fill in the blanks and get the information, because this is information that I want to be clear with. I want it to be concise, and I want you to totally understand. A simple one-page sheet, we're going to do that. So, all right? So you want to know how to get this sheet? I'll tell you at the end, because you're going to need this sheet, right? You know why? This sheet right here, you keep this sheet and share it with your family or anyone you care about, I promise you, they will have the money game on one sheet. The money game is on one sheet. So I'll show you how to get this sheet later. All right. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to run through this sheet real quick. It's not very long. And honestly, I'm going to turn over the testimony part because I want you to hear some outside of my own testimony and how the power of home-based business has changed my life. I want you to hear some other powerful testimonies. And guess what? My mentor, Mr. Brian Bean, actually, he's the founder of the Extra Digital Movement. He literally had in his home just a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago, a presentation just like this in his home, right? The founder, one of the top 3% earners in this country, in his home had the same thing. People came to just learn about this sheet right here. So what I'm going to do is, he has some really powerful testimonies in his home. So I'm going to go through the sheet. I'm going to go through the testimonies, live testimonies at his house, and then I'll let him close it on out, and we can get out of here, guys. And at that point, make some decisions. Okay? How does that sound? Sound good? All right, let's do it. All right. So what we're going to start with, guys, is that this is, following on the sheet, MWR's Financial Money Makeover Countdown. So the Blanks Money Makeover Countdown. And what we're going to talk about are these 4 financial roadblocks. And these 4 financial roadblocks are basically what keep most Americans broke. And we don't know these things because we are trained and taught a certain way as far as education is concerned, as far as working a job, as far as getting a job, as far as getting education, going to school, graduating, getting married, getting a career, getting in debt. So all these things we do naturally and normally. It's a normal progression, right? But let's talk about why most of us are broke. So these 4 roadblocks, the first one is taxes. Yes, we hear the word taxes all the time, guys. Taxes, and we call that, so you guys know, fill in the blank, the taxes, we call it the chainsaw massacre, right? Because with taxes are going to be your biggest expense in this country. It is not the cell phone bill. It is not, believe it, gas costs a lot, but gas is not going to be your biggest expense in this country. Taxes, because taxes take, fill in the blanks, guys, you lose your first 1/3 of your money, of your income through taxes. Income tax, property tax, sales tax, right? I mean, we have a luxury tax. I mean, basically from January to February, if you're a W-2 employee, look at it this way. If you're a W-2 employee from January to February, because the government takes 1/3 of your paycheck basically off the top, you essentially work for the government for free for 4 months before you even get paid. And let me back up a little bit. When you look at your check and about 1/3 of it is gone, all those other taxes I called aren't being took. The federal taxes alone take 1/3. Then we have to deal with state taxes, property taxes, and luxury tax. So taxes in this country are going to be your biggest expense until you learn to do something different to offset that or to minimize your taxes. That's where most wealthy people get wealthy, is that they understood taxes and how to minimize taxes to almost zero. Okay? All right. So guys, taxes, we got to understand, we call it the chainsaw massacre. Understand that taxes in this country are going to be your biggest expense, and that unless you learn to minimize to taxes to almost nothing, then you're never going to get wealthy in this country. If you allow the taxes, I don't care how many jobs you work, because if you work a job, you work 2 jobs, the government only sees 2 different people, and they're still taxing each job by 1/3, right? Let me see something with my family out there. Okay, just checking the Facebook and everything. All right. So, guys, listen here. So I want you to we go back. We got 4 financial roadblocks in this country that keeps us poor, keeps us broke. 1, taxes, your biggest expense. You have to know that. You have to understand that. If you can harness and understand taxes, well, you don't have to understand it. That's what we're here for. But once you can harness and get those taxes under control and minimize your taxes, that propels you into a whole different direction financially. That alone will propel you into a whole different financial direction. So number 2, guys. So let me say, taxes take the first 1/3 of your money, right? So now we have, and we're gonna call these like parents. So taxes is like the mom or the dad. So right, so debt. Now we all understand debt because you hear that term, the generational curse, or we like to call it, and fill in the blank, guys, the family curse, right? Debt takes the second 1/3 of your money, right? You lose your second 1/3 because it's your second largest expense. Why is that? Because when you go to work for 12 months out of the year and you only get paid for 8 months out of the year, you have a net and a gross. So everything that you purchase in this country is based on a gross, but you only bring home a net. So that money is gone, but you are sold things based on a gross. So how do you make that back up? By getting debt, by incurring debt, by whipping out the credit cards, right? So, and people have different perspectives on credit, but when you're trying to make up for the money that was took or stole or robbed from you with credit cards, guess what comes with credit? Guess what comes with that? Debt, high interest. Interest comes with that, right? So now you're in a cycle. That's why debt becomes your second largest expense, because now you have high interest. And interest, guess what interest does, guys? Interest is forever evolving. Interest just keeps going and going and going. Interest works forever. Interest will work forever. So now that's why that's your second largest expense. Before I move on, let's recap. 4 things, 4 financial roadblocks. The first one is going to be taxes, your largest expense in this country. The second is going to be debt, because debt is going to take the second third of your money, because you're trying to make up for the money that got took from you, right? So now you're creating credit card debt, a revolving debt with high interest, and this interest just works and works. So it sounds good when you get a loan and they say, hey, you can buy this, or you can pay $100 a month or something like that. But that interest is being bundled together, right? The interest is being bundled together, guys, and being used to loan money to somebody else. So where you just now getting out paying off your old student loans or something, and you're just now paying them off, and yet your child or your grandchild, it's time for them to go to college. So now you're about to get right back into debt. So this interest, this compound interest that you've been paying over all these years, the banks have been bundling that and loaning that money out to somebody else. So now if you can't afford to send your child to college or your grandchild to college, you've actually paid to send somebody else's child to college. Now you can't go. That's called arbitrage, when they bundle up all that money and still sell it. So you have to understand these things and know these things exist and they are true. This is what happens. Arbitrage is real. You can't afford to send your own child to college, and yet for the last 10 years, you have not only bought one car 3 times because of high interest, right? Paid off a house after 30 years that you've paid $300,000 in interest. You bought the house 4 times, and yet you sent somebody else's kids to college 2 and 3 times. So we have to understand what's going on in this country, and then once you understand, you can make some changes, right? Because once you know, right? So recap: taxes, biggest expense, largest expense, first third of your money. Debt, second third of your money is gone, second largest expense. Now remember I said mom, dad, pops, parents. So the parents, they had some children. They had 2 children, as a matter of fact. And the third child is called big business, which we call, fill this in, guys, the money trap, right? Big business, which we call the money trap. Why is that? Because now you're going to lose your last third of your money to big business. Because one thing about big business, guys, big business knows that people have a tendency to spend irregardless of their emotions. Their emotions are high, they're feeling good, they want to spend. People spend when they're sad, because they buy food, they buy this, they buy clothes, they just go binge shopping. Big business understands this. That's why they paint buildings a certain way. A certain music is being played when you come to certain stores or restaurants, to soothe and to calm and relax you, make you want to touch stuff and buy stuff that you don't even have enough money to purchase, right? But they know you got those credit cards, right? So remember, it's all a game. So big business now is taking the last third of your money, because they're steady marketing to you all the time. They spend billions in marketing. Why would companies spend billions of dollars to market to people if they weren't making 10x that billion, right? So now you say, no, you're not a victim to big business. But think about it, guys. Every year of the month, there's something that big business has for you to spend a lot of money on, and they make you feel that you have to do it because they make the people around you make you feel that way. That's the psychological part of it. January. We got New Year's. We got New Year's, then you got February, you got Valentine's Day. March, what's the Green Irish Day? You know what I mean? April, then you got Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, back to school, Labor Day, October, Halloween. Then you got November. Then you have Thanksgiving. Not only do you have Thanksgiving, they've added some stuff inside of Thanksgiving. They got they call it Brown Thursday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, They've added all kind of stuff to where you think you just have to spend money, and we just fall right on into the trap. Money that most of us don't even have. That's the key, because we're borrowing money from credit cards, and we know what that means. You borrowing money means that you just trying to afford something that you're buying stuff that you can't afford in the first place. So that cycle, we have to understand that. So let me recap really quick, guys. Taxes. First third of your money, largest expense. Family curse is debt, the second, taking the second of your thirds of your money. You lose your last third of your money through the money trap, which is called big business. And then while all of this is going on, we get hit with something else. We get hit with that thing called inflation, a word that we've heard of. Oh, excuse me, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Oh, I didn't bring my water in. Okay. A word that we've heard of over and over again our whole life, but you really don't feel it until you're grown and you start buying things, right? When you start spending your own money, when you start figuring what the value of your dollar is, and then as you get older, the value of what you're able to purchase is getting less and less. I mean, the amount of what you're able to purchase is getting less and less. And yet, the dollar is the same dollar that you had when you were 5 years old. And now that you're 25 or 35, the same president is on that dollar. It's made in the same color, and yet it buys 30% less. That's called inflation. And inflation comes in and just wipes you out. That's why we call inflation, write this down, guys, the silent income killer. You have to understand that. Now, it's not been so silent lately because the pandemic that just recently is happening. You got gas prices that are just through the roof, right? The value of your dollar is starting to shrink, because what big business can do is arbitrarily, they can raise the prices of their goods and services anytime they want. I mean, they can just do that, right? So when you're trying to spend your money and you're going to the store and your 30 or 40 or $100 were able to kind of halfway fill up your buggy 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and now you have a quarter of that because big business has just raised their prices because they like to pass everything downhill to the consumer. So if inflation starts at the top, of course, they're going to pass it down and down and down and down, basically to the people who can't afford it, which are just the everyday citizens for the most part. That's why inflation is called a silent income killer, because you really don't think about it, because you feel you have to buy gas, you feel you have to buy groceries, you have to have lights in your house, you have to have food on the table. So inflation is just going to come in and just wipe you out from that part. Now, like I said, I won't go be long, but I wanted to get those 4 financial roadblocks out there, because I know it sounded like a lot of doom and gloom, but no, guys, we're going to talk about 3 financial solutions. And these financial solutions are the solutions that once you understand these, you understand the secrets of the wealthy. You understand the rules of the wealthy. You understand how the wealthy think to make these financial roadblocks stepping stones, right? To make things like inflation, they don't worry about inflation. They know to outpace inflation. That's the key. Learn these strategies and tips to outpace inflation. So, guys, we here that are here. The 3 financial solutions. Guess what it's called? It's called income shifting. Income shifting. All income shifting is, guys, it means just taking the money from those that are taking it away from you, taking it from them and putting it back into your household, putting it back into your pocket, putting it back into the table, putting it back into your families where it's needed and wanted and needed. Income shifting. Simple. I mean, nothing major. It's called income shifting. And how do you income shift, right? You start with the mindset. You start there first, guys. Now, how you start, we're going to column A, guys. For those that are here, column A. When you see column A, it says save, and it's called cash flow management. See, most of us here save, and we think put money in the bank and let it sit and make no money as long as we have it. We're taught to hoard the money. That's what we hear. We hear save. But what we're talking about today, guys, so in cash flow management, You see where it's saying W-2 is taxed the most. So for those that don't have the sheet, we're looking at A, B, and C. And in box A, cash flow management for those that are employees, W-2 employees. And unfortunately, let me tag something along with that really quick. It's about 78% of W-2 employees, people that work, are living paycheck to paycheck. So I want you to keep that in mind as I talk about column A. All right, so W-2 employees in this country, those that go to work every day, they sit in traffic every day, they deal with the bosses they don't care for, or the employees that they don't care for, or sometimes the people that they manage. And yet, W-2 employees in this country are taxed the highest. So filling in, it's put 28% to 33%. W-2 employees are taxed 28% to 33%. The highest in this country, guys. The highest in this country. So now we go over to column B, where we're talking about the business owners. Business owners are taxed between 18 to 23%. Why is that? Because the government basically wants to incentivize everybody in this country. First of all, if you have a Social Security number, you're considered basically a sole proprietor, right? There's no secret to that, but most of us just don't take advantage of it because we're not taught that. In school, they teach us to basically be employees. They don't teach us to be entrepreneurs. They don't teach us to be, sole proprietors and thinkers, thinking outside the box. No, they want to teach you to think right inside the box. But the government wants to incentivize people to have a business. So if they say, if you have a home-based business, we're going to give you a tax break because you are now utilizing what we're offering. So first thing that's to your benefit is that you get moved to a different tax bracket, right? So now you're going to write this down, guys. The business 1099, if done correctly, taxed around 18 to 23% as an incentive, okay? And then once you create an asset, remember we said cash, asset, cash. So you work for your cash as a W-2 employee, you create assets as a business owner, and then after you create some money, you allow your money to work for you. That's cash, asset, cash. So now when your cash is making money, the government says, okay, money doesn't get taxed the same as labor. So now as an investor, because your money is making money for you, you're getting taxed at 15% or less. Now you moved from 33% to 15%. We're talking about a difference of 18% being put right back into your pocket just for making those moves alone. That much is being brought back into your household. That alone is huge, guys. So then let's jump back to column A, to the employee. All right. So the employee is in this country works like this. The employee says, I work, I am taxed, and then I get to spend what's left. So they do all of the work, you get a third of your money took, and then you get to spend what's left. And that's not including what big business and debt is taken out of there first, right? Now, but by becoming a business owner, guys, the government gives you a different outcome. The business gets to work, the business gets to spend, and then the business is taxed. Another incentive. Now, as with having a home-based business, I want you to understand this. The W-2 employee and a home-based business owner like me, we all have the same thing, right? We have a home, we have lights, gas, we buy gas for the cars, water bills, sewer bills in some places, cable, phone. I mean, we're all spending money on the exact same thing, whether you are a business owner, a home-based business owner, or whether you are a W-2 employee. You're spending money on the exact same thing. But the government says, as a business owner, your incentive is that we will allow you to, as a business owner, your business does all the work. Your business gets to spend and write off all of the same things that you're doing, the W-2 employee is doing anyway. and they get to the business, that is, gets to write off a percentage of all of the same things that the W-2 employees doing first, then get taxed. So $50,000 from someone who's a W-2 employee, $50,000 a business owner who earns $50,000. They both earn $50,000. Guess what, guys? The government is taking the third off the top of the $50,000 from the W-2 employee. The business owner gets to write off whatever he's writing off. Let's say he writes off $18,000. Then what's left, he gets taxed on. That's the beauty of that. In a different tax bracket, tax totally different. Now, this you don't fill in here, guys, but in the investors column, in the cash, asset, cash, in the investors column, remember, so the money works. The money is making money, right? So it can make more money, right? So the money is working, the money is returned, then the money goes back out there. The money is doing no good sitting. Money is a tool, and most investors, most wealthy people understand that money is a tool only to be put back out there to make more money. So that's why it's taxed the least, because it's not labor. That's why the government gives an additional incentive, right? So just knowing this, these are the exact same things that most wealthy people do to different degrees, because they already have different, levels of money or whatever the case may be, and to different levels. This is the only thing they do. They do exactly this. They take a home-based business, home-based businesses, tax them, run their money through home-based businesses, get their deductions, their write-offs, their expenses, because they said they've earned it. The government said you can do that. All legal, ethical, and moral. That's all we're talking about here, right? And then you are able to then put your money back out into the universe and allow it to make more money, so it can get taxed less and less and less, sometimes to 0%. I mean, it just, you've heard the stories of the Bezos of the world and all of those billionaires who pay less taxes than me and you, or you and I, right? So, but they're just utilizing the laws, the tax codes, because that's all these things are. They're just tax codes. W-2, 401k, IRA, 1099. They're just tax codes. So it's about what code you're playing in, right? And I know the government tries to make it seem like it's difficult. You got to understand all this and understand all money it's not that difficult, right? Because most of the time they're just going to get experts to do the work for them, people that are certified to do this type of stuff. And we'll get to that point with us. All right, so back to our paper, guys, really quick. You ask an income shifting, how do you do it? So we're doing it through those 3 moves there. But what we do here is what's called a 6-figure playbook. So we got a mark. You see this here? It's a 6-figure playbook. So what we do here, A, minimize taxes. B, minimize debt. C, minimize expenses. 4, we're going to increase your credit scores. 5, we're going to increase your income, because, through this home-based business, we do all of those good things to bring the money back to you, but we also show you how to make some money. And we'll talk about that quick and make some really good money, right? So we're going to increase your income, because the more you increase your income and you're saving more money. But what's important is just basically first redirecting that money back, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what job you're working, no matter how many jobs you're working. What's important is to understand how to bring that money back to you and your household. Then once you start creating some income, generating income, then you put those out there and let that money make some more money for you. That's the beauty of it, all right? So number 6, we're going to increase your assets at that point, right? So once you bring that money back, we show you how to make money, you create assets, and just let those assets just generate money on their own. That's that passive and residual income that all wealthy people have. Most wealthy people have a minimum of, I think it said 7 different passive, income streams. So if you miss that by half, you got 3.5. If you can do 3.5, right? 3 income streams, right? It's just generate money for you. How good would that be, right? So guys, so now I know you say, okay, let's get to the good part. How much is all this, right? You're thinking it's a whole lot of money. You think 100,000. Everybody thinks this stuff has to be so expensive, right? And some things are. Not to say that expensive things aren't good, but $149, guys. $149. You blow that, you're gonna blow that tomorrow night, right? You're gonna blow that girl you just met. You're gonna blow that this Saturday or something, right? On some flowers, some dinner, and all that type of stuff, right? And not, I ain't gonna say you might not get anything back. That's a whole other story. But I'm saying, guys, $149, not $149,000, $149. And I told you before, it's affordable. And if you couldn't afford that, two things: we're gonna show you how to make it affordable. We're gonna show you how to afford it. And if that $149, just me saying that is a problem to your pockets, then you need to be here anyway. You need to be having this conversation. You need to be a part of our community, and you need to be letting our experts get you all the way together anyway. If $149 is a problem, I want you to look at it that way. If you say to yourself, $149, I can't get my finances in order because I don't have $149, then you definitely need to find $149 and let the experts get you together. All right, well, we're going to move on, guys. So at the end of the day, guys, let me recap the financial solutions for those that may have just jumped on. We talked about 4 roadblocks. Everybody here filtered in: taxes, debt, big business, and inflation. We talked about 3 financial solutions. We talked cash, asset, cash, but it's called income shifting, right? We talked about how and why those things are beneficial to you as you move and progress through becoming W-2 employee, business owner, and not saying that you don't have to stop working or anything like that, but employee, business owner to investor. Typically most people want to get into that investors quadrant because you just where your money is making more money for you. You have more income streams and passive income and more generational wealth and more freedom, more time freedom to spend with you and your family and do the things you want to do with who you want to do them with, when you want to do them with. It's just all of the above, all of the great cliches, right? So with that being said, guys, you got to understand there are 2 financial objectives. And then one other thing, we're going to get a couple things, and we're going to get to these beautiful, beautiful testimonies, right? So you got to have 2 financial objectives. You got to keep this in mind. You got to remember this as well, guys. Your current lifestyle should be paid for, write this down, by your labor. And your future lifestyle should be paid for by your, write this down, investments. Let me say that again. Your current lifestyle should be paid for by your labor, and your future lifestyle should be paid for by your investments. 2 financial objectives we all should have. 2 financial objectives we all should have. Current lifestyle paid for by labor. Future lifestyle paid for by your investments. So at that point, there's nothing wrong with the bags. There's nothing wrong with the motorcycles and the boats and the what's going on, Trev? How you doing, brother? And there's nothing wrong with the fancy watches and the ostrich shoes at that point, because your investments are paying for this thing. When we go out and we spend all this money with big business, that's why they have all the fancy boats. That's why they have all of this, because we're paying for that for them, right? So it's time to turn the tide. And when you have the knowledge, when you know better, you should do better. This one sheet right here, guys. And speaking of one, let me segue into the last thing. One company, guys. I'm gonna write this down. Make wealth real financial. Blank is wealth. Make wealth real financial. One company, team of experts that are doing all of this for you, because it takes credit rebuilding, credit restoration, credit monitoring, debt elimination, all these old debt, student loans, everything that's on there, individually, a la carte, this stuff costs thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to do. One company has decided to get together, MWR, to do this for each and every one of us to just close that gap up, right? That wealth gap, by making this so affordable that everybody can get a financial makeover. And I'm sorry, understand what a financial makeover is, guys. When you get ready to go out, women, men alike, there's a before before you get in the shower or the tub, before you put your clothes on, before you put your makeup on, before you tighten up your tie, before you put your gaiters on, before you put that hat on, that brim, right? Women, before you put on this expensive perfume and guys before you squirt cologne, that's your after. That's your makeover. Not saying that you didn't look good before, but now you look even better, right? So that's what the financial makeover is. We want to. The company wants to take your now, what you look like right now, because guess what they want to do for you, for other people. They want other people to see your before. The experts want to take you and give you this makeover so other people can see your after, because you're going to walk different. You're going to look different. First of all, you're going to, unfortunately, your mindset changes. So you elevate in different ways. You elevate spiritually. You elevate mentally. You elevate emotionally. You definitely elevate financially, right? So a lot of things change, and people notice that makeover. People notice it. So, and I can't wait, because we're going to get right here to these testimonies. You can see and hear some awesome testimonies, guys. So the one company that's going to do it, MWR, like I said, to be a business owner, to be a business partner, to get the tax breaks, to get all of this good stuff, to be able to make money, that's the 149. Oh, and I'm sorry, just for those that want to just have the experts do their financial makeover. And there's so many other things that the company does to get your financial. We'll talk about that later on when you call and text me, and we talk about it. But if you just want the experts to just do that makeover for you, make your pockets and make your finances look a whole lot better, because they do all of the things that bring that cash flow back to you, back to your house, back to your family. Just for that alone, not being in the business where you're making money, just that alone, that's not $149. That's just $99. Well, $99.97 to be exact. Just for the financial makeover, right? The experts are going to do everything. You just have to give them the information they ask for. They're going to take it from there. They're going to get you all the way together. Credit, debt, saving you money on your bills. We have bill shredder. Just so many different things that's in place, that they put in place, that just makes this an awesome program. So just for the experts, not the business, not to make any money, not to make potentially $8,500 a day. You don't want to do that. That's to make $8,500 a day, up to $8,500 a day per day. That's something that you're not interested in. Then just getting your financial makeover together is $99, $99.97. But if you want to get all of the experts to give you that financial makeover and potentially make up to $8,500 per day, and I did not stutter, $8,500 per day, up to $8,500 per day, that's $149 a month. And you ask, how do you do that? You become a home-based business owner. What's the business, guys? You're looking at it. You just share the information with other people. No sales. We don't sell it. We're not selling anything, because there are tens of thousands of people that their testimonies, just speak for the program immensely. It legitimizes the program just beyond belief, beyond measure. I wouldn't be here 2 years if it didn't. Trust me. So, so $99 if you just want the experts to get your finances in order, save you some money, cut your bills, and all kind of other good stuff that they do for that $99. Believe me, I don't know how they do it for $99. I really don't, but they do it, and they do it very, very well. But if you do want all of the experts, and you want to be able to see how you can make up to $8,500 per day, starting at $5 a day, up to $8,500 per day, then that's $149.97 a month. Okay, guys? All right. So with that being said, just do a quick recap. Hey, what are we going to do? What are the experts going to do? What do you have to do? What's your mindset? What do you have to get to? Lower my taxes. Taxes is the blank. Tax minimization. You can ask the expert, right? Raise my score, credit scores, because they're going to get your credit scores up. That's what they do. Credit restoration, just upload some reports, and they'll take it from there, right? Destroy my debt, all right? Debt elimination, they have, software, all this type of stuff that they do, proprietary software. It's not sending you a bunch of letters and saying, well, if the company says this, then you send them this letter. If they react this way, you send them that. No, they do all of this. you go on with your life and change, get your mindset together, become involved in the community of people going in the same direction so you can elevate your family to the next level. And D, grow my assets, asset creation. And that's the only thing that you'll have to schedule a talk, because everybody's everybody is in a different place money-wise right now. Like some people don't have bad credit. Some people don't have a whole lot of debt. They just have some money sitting. They want to know how to create some more money. And that's the grow portion of this program, where there are experts have things in place to grow your money in-house. Where you can buy land, or you can create your own private reserve, create your own bank for your kids, show you how to hire your children. So yeah, that's the grow portion of the program. All right, so at this point, guys, I want to show these testimonies. The question is, before we leave right now, because I'm going to end it with Mr. Bean, I want to do the testimonies, and we'll let Mr. Bean, just bring it on out. So I'm going to ask you guys right now, are you a 2? A number 2 just wants to be a member only. Just send a, they don't want the money. Like I said earlier, they just want the membership, get the credit together, debt down. They just want the 6-figure playbook, right? 3 down and 3 up. Number 1 says the 6-figure playbook sounds awesome. I want in on that, but I also want to see how I can be a part of that up to $8,500 a day. So, right. So that's $149 a month. So you just say you're a 2. If you're in the comments, say you're a 2. You just want the members only, or you can hit 1, drop a 1 in the comments, right? And I'll get to you. You can text 216-285-0569. Just text profit. All right. Well, I should have something on there. You'll see the information on there. All right. So if you're a 2, you just want the experts. 1, you want it all, experts, and you want to be able to make money. Okay. With that being said, guys, I'm going to put this on the TV here so we can get out of here with these awesome testimonies. Okay, guys? All right, let me put this down some, and hopefully you can hear it well. I try to get my mic there. And let's do it. I think.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Here we go.
So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to look at the people that I see first, and I'm going to bring up my big guns last. All right? I want to open up for one of our youngest members. This young lady came in and adjusted her W-4. The W-4 is the form where experts get your taxes lower and put more money back in your paycheck. It changed her life tremendously. She's been rocking and rolling ever since. She's going to be largely responsible for our millennial movement. Y'all know Miss Amber Johnson. What's up, Miss Amber? Stand close to me because I got a mic on. And that way, people, if y'all stand here, people can hear you. Ms. Johnson, what happened with your W-4 adjustment? How easy or hard was the process?
It was extremely easy. First of all, good afternoon, everybody. It was extremely easy. As a W-2 worker, that was the most attractive thing that I could give myself a pay raise without having to ask my boss. So the very first night I enrolled, I uploaded my pay stubs. The following 72 hours, the IRS sent it back, my adjusted W-4. And I had an extra $742 my first month. Every month since then. And then I did it again, and they got me another extra $200. So ended up bringing home about $988 a month extra. And I introduced it to my entire family, of course, and they're all getting an increase in their paychecks as well. So.
That's it.
That's all I mean. I have a lot of respect for this young man. He's one of the most highly trained and highly committed individuals. I've seen him grow and grow and grow in the business. I'm going to have him come up and talk about his testimony and his daily pay. Get up, Bernard Conley. Just want to hear from some people who are actually getting their makeover. Amber took home an extra $700, then $900, and that's just her paycheck. She didn't tell you about her daily pay. If you want to stay close to me, I got the mic on. They'll be able to hear you. Give me your before and after.
Okay. Top of this here, how everybody going? Awesome. Before MWR, well, of course, anybody else went to college? Cool. I went to one of the greatest schools in the world, Florida A&M University, but I had to actually take out student loans. And I went to FAMU as well as Atlanta School of Massage, but I had to take out loans for both of those. And before MWR, they had my credits. They had me in debt for 83 years in debt. But when I worked with the experts, they got it from 83 years down to only 9 years. Can we give her a testimony? The specific dates of now my debt-free date is November 2030, and my $1 million date is September 2056. The best thing overall, Brian, is I like is that they save me about over $50,000 in interest payments.
Oh wow, 50 grand.
$50,000.
That's called quantifying.
Big facts.
Yes, sir. Now, how does it feel every day when our cell phones go off and you get a text message? I'm gonna show you how the daily pay in a second.
That's even better because it's just, you got lunch, you got gas, inflated prices. You got myself, personally, I've been able to help some people actually start saving, making, and growing their money with this company. I've been positioned to earn the $20 a day daily guarantee.
$600 a month.
$600 every single month extra in addition to everything else that I do. So,
y'all good up. When I find out, switch to that camera just because we got a height adjustment here coming up in a second. Unless you know how to work. Yeah. Open that up for him right here.
Excuse me.
This guy right here. We got a height adjustment. Swing high up. Okay. Miss Erica Martin, come on up. Y'all get up here, Erica Martin? Here comes some tall people. All right. You about with me, so you okay? Y'all okay? All right, good. Miss Erica, the world wants to know. There's only 1 million people gonna see this on Facebook. The world wants to know your before and after story. Where were you before MWR and where are you today?
So before MWR Financial, how many of y'all ever tried to get your bills lower? So with the financial experts and the bill shredder, I didn't realize I was overpaying my cell phone bill, my cable bill, and my alarm bill. So with the experts, they were able to save me $1,050 on my cable bill. They were able to save me $240 on my alarm bill, and I got a one-time savings on my cell phone. But hey, a savings is a savings.
That's right. That's right.
So I took that money and I applied it to my credit card. So that's how I income share from taking it from here, moving it over to there.
Nice. Girl, you better work it. Hey, tell y'all, we negotiating bills. I told y'all to lower your expenses, but we have bill negotiators. You upload your cable bill, cell phone bill, internet bill, your alarm bill. On this property and my primary property, I uploaded all the bills, and they drop them for it. They negotiate your bills. I don't know how they do it. But it's part of your membership. They negotiate all your bills now. That's that column, the 6-figure playbook. Now you say that money you put on the debt. Now they both want it. They both want it. See how that works? All right. I think I had some more reps in there. Everybody bashing out before I bring up the big guns. Sean, not that Sean. Grier? All right. The next gentleman I want to bring up, he's part of this organization called Seniors on the Move. See, y'all think it's too late. Give it up for Richard Hart. Wait, start up. Camera over. Start. Take two. This next gentleman I want to bring in here is responsible for an organization called Seniors on the Move. It's never too late to start making money. Richard Grier is at $900 a month. Give it up. What's up, Rich?
Kelly, I'm excited.
Good, man. What's you like most
I
about
had a
it?
score for 623. I'm sitting now at 746. I love the sharing. Many people are sharing to 70 and over, but I'm also focusing now on that 42 that you had on your call this morning. Some age group, the younger folks.
Younger folks.
You know, I'm excited about it. I'm excited just to be back in the groove of things.
Yeah.
Right? This is just wonderful. And I'm going to say cut.
Okay, hold on. Wait. You went from a 600 credit score to a 700 and what?
747.
Have you noticed the interest rates? You can renegotiate now. They can renegotiate your car insurance. Your credit scores can help you renegotiate everything. Have you noticed the difference?
They have done that. Plus, I get a lot of mail about selling your house, buying your house, wanting a new car because my interest rate is so much better now.
Yes.
So people take notice of that as well.
All right, y'all give it up for Richard Grier. Okay. So to speed this up now, I'm gonna bring in some people now who bought new homes, who retired from their jobs, who like these testimonies right here are just the beginning. The people I want to bring up now, these are some of the life-changing experiences that all you guys are actually going to experience. The first person I want to bring up is the introvert of our organization. She's a lady who's never had a home-based business before. She used to be in nightclubs and management and things like that. Never even knew that this type of business existed. And now she's approaching the highest tier of our entire compensation plan, which will bring her about 5 figures per month. Y'all get it from Ms. Watson. All right, Ms. Sims, you also made it a family affair. Talking to the mic here, you actually have a cousin who credit score went through the roof. A cousin bought a house. You're at approaching $200 a day, which is over $6,000 a month. You tell your story. How have your family members taken advantage?
Well, I was introduced to this business and had no idea that it even existed. And I just started telling family members and letting them plug in. And I had my brother, he's well off. So we thought, he was somewhere with an 834 credit score. I mean, he's always been very meticulous about his finances. And MWR was able to get him an 845 credit score, and we financed his home and was able to save over $50,000 in interest. Had another cousin that couldn't even qualify for a home, and he was able to plug into these services. And 2 months later, he bought his very first home. For myself, building the business was an absolute joy. Just meeting new people and watching what these services could do for them and myself, of course. And along the way, I was able to climb the top of the compensation plan and find passion in helping people and leave the industry of the nightclubs and make this my full-time business.
No more nightclub management, making money every day. All right. Y'all get it from home and find it. This is good stuff. I just want to show y'all some of the big guns. I'm going to show y'all some of the big guns real quick. All right. We're going to bring up this next young lady. I have a ton of respect for her as well. She actually purchased her first home. She used to drive through the neighborhood and say, one day I'm gonna, one day I'm gonna. I know, because I was there with her saying, one day we're gonna, one day we're gonna. And I was like, okay, we're gonna. And then it took me about a year to realize this is where we drove through. The neighborhood developed by Miss Martha Stewart. Give it up for Miss Shana Rollins. If you get blinded by her ring, she's the second young lady in the entire company to earn $1 million residual ring. This is Shana Rollins. She's $1 million residual ring. And how has this business been for you? Your posture, your confidence, your life, your mind?
Everything has changed. I've been working with Brian for about 18 years now. But there's something different here. Like I've always said, we have like lightning in a bottle with this company. I purchased my first home in the middle of the pandemic. And like Brian said, in the community, I always wanted, we looked at that like in 2008, I think. And I said, my first house is gonna be here. And it was. This compensation plan is amazing. I am making 5 figures a month, which is just outstanding. Able to help other people do the same. The bill shredder has helped me. I've reduced my ADT bill by like $600.
Yeah.
And other bills as well, Comcast and cell phone. I paid off 3 credit cards. So I'm just giving you a rundown of all the things that MWR has been able to do for me. So
including home ownership.
Yes.
And saying that shit, I'll put it out there. How much per day you make now?
$400
A day. That's one of our ways we get paid every day in her account. $400 is her account every day. That's $12,000 a month on the minimum side, right? And it goes now all the way up to $8,500 a day. So now y'all see why we meet. Y'all will meet again in a minute. All right, y'all get up and stand around. Okay, let's close out. The next young man I want to bring up actually fired his boss. Done. Over. Finito. Never working again. Right? One of the most highly respected leaders in the organization. Very, very eloquent. Went from teaching our children about life principles to now he's going to show the world how he actually retired 30 years early. Right? He's approaching the upper echelon of our compensation plan very, very quickly. He's been in this game a long time. Give it up for Sean T. Hill. We don't normally go this long, but we got so many people. Y'all gotta meet them all. This is like a once in a lifetime shot. I doubt if we're
Brian doing an amazing
Thank you.
job. He shared it with me, similar to that, June the 9th, 2020, and shared some strategies with me. And, you know, my credit was so bad, they wouldn't even take my cash. I ended up within 90 days, my credit went up 90 points. Uploaded the bills like they told me to do. Got $800 on my internet bill. But the most important thing he taught me was how to fire the people. I mean, I love teaching. I just hate education because education doesn't allow you to teach. And so he showed me some simple things. He just said, invite them to see it. Don't sell it to them. Just show them what we do. Educate on how we're helping people shift. And I did just that in 86 days. I was at a Labor Day party, and I realized that what I was being deposited from the school system was exactly what I was being deposited from this business. And I mean, honestly, to be in a position where now it's been over a year, I retired February the 3rd, 2021, been unemployed, unemployable, mentally unfit to work for other people. Literally took a year off. People saw me around, but I had to catch up on life. And to be able to walk into a position where, honestly, I won't even be able to recognize our bank accounts within the next 6 months. It's very hard to sleep. So I said I was going to bring you from I'm going to hold true to that. I'm going to get it right back.
All right, give it up for him. All right, Sean, don't forget, put this date down somewhere. June 4th. I said we better all be in the room again. That might be the last one. June 4th. June 4th, we got our new office up here on Camp Creek. Just a quick sidebar. June 4th, all of the top producers in Atlanta and across the country, we're gonna be at show out. Y'all gonna hear very little from me. Y'all gonna hear from the 5 to 6 different $1 million residual ring club earners, and then I'll be in there just to shout out. All right. I want to do all the ladies first, but I gotta save this young lady for last because she's actually the first young lady in the entire company. She actually designed the $1 million residual ring for the young ladies because she's the first to do it. She's the first to hit the highest tier in the compensation plan, which at the time was known as regional. She's the fastest to do it. She's the first to do it, and the company recognizes her as the first lady of the entire company. Y'all give it up for Miss Christy Howard. She just blends all the way around. You make the ring, and you gotta wear it. What has happened to you since joining MWR? How's your makeover been?
Guys, before MWR, I was bartending at the world's largest airport, which is here right here in Atlanta, Hartsfield Jackson. I was getting up at 4 o'clock every single morning to be at work at 5:45 to sling Bloody Marys for people that were going on business trips. I would pray every day that I would make at least $150 to $200 a day to be able to cover my bills. After getting MWR Financial, guys, I hit up to $300 a day in this company. So I went from hoping that I would make it working 2 to 3 days a week to a guaranteed residual income every single day. But guess what, Brian? You know what hit me? I had an epiphany, right? We had our transformation event last weekend for the company. And I was able to sit there with my 18-year-old son who was in this business, right? And I asked him, I said, you know what? I said, I understand that he doesn't want to go to college, right? He wants to be an entrepreneur and make his own money off the top. I said, where do you see yourself? I showed him our compensation plan. I said, where do you see yourself by the end of this year? He said, I want to be at $280 a day. Can you imagine if we're giving our kids a head start? He's 18 years old. He has a 764 credit score and is already making close to $2,400 a month at 18 years old. See, we're not just talking about getting something and getting the money for us. It's about our generation. It's about really positioning our kids to give them a head start. And that is what this company is all about. Yes, we're going to make a lot of money, but at the same time, we're going to change the lives of so many people to where these 18-year-olds, they don't even need a makeover. We're going to have to come up with something else for them. But it's a financial start for them. But I want you to think about it. You could turn back the hands of time and go back to 18, 19, knowing what we know right now. How different would each of our lives be?
Yes.
How different would it be if you were 18 years old making $2,400 a month and you haven't even graduated from high school? So nobody has said it yet, but guys, he can be kind of humble, right? Brian is the #1 income earner in the entire company. Where do you go and partner up with people that are willing to lay out the blueprint and tell you exactly what they did to achieve the type of success that he's making? Brian is about to be making $1,500 a day. Now do the math on it. $45,000 a month. In less than the 3 years that we've been over here. Even if you got that half wrong. What's half of 45,000? Like what?
I'll take it.
Fail that test by half. Matter of fact, fail that test by 75%. If you're making 25% of $45,000 a month, you still are doing extremely well. And a lot of people are doing this in addition to what they are already doing. This isn't one of those companies where we're, trying to get you into something. We're trying to get you out of something. Does that make sense? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I just want to bring some big guns in. So y'all see you guys train on June 4th, Saturday at the 4-Point Shelter. So before we go, I'm gonna give you the rest of the mic. So we're done.
More money.
Yeah? Check it. All right. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. I'm gonna show you something. Yeah. I'm gonna show you somebody real quick that this is the reason I want to bring him up real quick is he's the epitome of full-time job, part-time basis, part-time business makes more than full-time job. He's like the epitome of that. All right, this gentleman I've known for over 30 years. That's we're actually in first grade together. So I want y'all to help me. We're up to the front of the room. Our #1 regional producer at the regional level. We got 5 stars in regional. He's a 1-star regional. Give it up for Mr. Chuck. Part-time, you kidding me? Yes, sir. How does that work? I'm going to Christy. I ain't know he's in the back, man. It's hard to follow. It's hard to follow Christy. We're going to cut him in music.
No, honestly, guys, it's a humbling experience. But I love to always tell people this can be additional income. If you love what you do, you have a passion for what you do what you do. But when you love to do what you do and not have to do it, when you love to be able to show up and not have to be there, you come in with a different attitude.
Absolutely.
You come in with a different swag. People say, you laugh like, who you talking to? Oh, I thought you was talking to me. Today would be the day. Right? But we can do that and we can see a big chance to help people. So it's a part-time business. You work on a part-time basis, but can pay you full-time income. You just got to follow the system. And he's the man that came up with the system.
The system is in place. Now, see, I like him because he's so humble. Chuck, how much you make per day?
We make $200 a day.
200 a day. So he's at 6,000 a month minimum, right? He's on his way to 240 and 280 and all of that. We all just got started. So when I say just got started, this compensation plan that we're showing you, it begins today. Today. Like, in other words, y'all coming in on the new today. You don't understand what that means. But like, y'all, in other words, y'all ain't got to work hard. We are. We're looking for people that want to come in and say, y'all move out of the way. Here come the new faces, right? So y'all give it up to Mr. Chuck Hart. So man, May 1st, I told everybody, I said, this is going to be the record setter right here. This is going to be the day. That's okay. This is going to be the day that changes lives. Today is the day that changes lives. So, by now you've heard, we're in the B column, D. We're in the B column under D, business income. Daily guarantee is anywhere from $5 a day to $8,500 a day. Right? Nobody's at the $8,500 a day level. Nobody's even at the 3 below it. Right? Personally, I'm approaching the $1,500 a day, and there are 4 more tiers above that to get you $8,500 a day. So if you're making $45,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $10,000 a month, you can be where these guys are. All you got to do now is plug in and show people this video. Right? So D is daily guarantee, goes anywhere from $5 a day up to what? $8,500 a day. That's $150,000 to $255,000 a month. That's how much that equates to monthly. $150,000 to $255,000 a month. You know what I like most about this business? When you reach $5 a day, that's basically when you help 3 people get started. The $149 a month is covered because you're making what per month? $150. Because $5 a day, 30 days a month, your business is now free after you get 3 people involved in our business. So the $5 a day, see, we get a text message every day. Like hers, Chuck says 200, Chrissy says, 300, Shayna says 400, whatever. These text messages come in every day. Don't sleep on the $5 text. I'm like, ain't nothing. No, stop. Okay? The $5 text means it only gets bigger from that. Now your business is covered. Get the $5 a day text to get it popped. Make sense? All right. The government penalizes you approximately $600 a month if you don't have a business. That's the quote in that box right there. The government penalizes you approximately $600 a month if you don't have a business. Make sense? All right. Stop that right there. That always help. Yeah, you're fine. So the government penalizes you approximately $600 a month for not owning a business. So why would you own one for $149 a month when you're paying them more than that for not having one? See the math? Okay. Last column, C. You gotta start making money with money. Here's some ways to make money with money. Once you understand terminology and perspective, you never go wrong. You gotta start earning capital gains. That's A. Capital gains is also known as appreciation. Anytime, like if you make $100,000 selling a house, it's not taxed the same as if you make $100,000 on a job. That's two totally different things. The house made money, that's called capital gains. If you work and make 6 figures a year, that's called W-2. Those two, what you keep, is totally different on that. So you gotta start making capital what? Gains. B, dividends. It's already there. Dividends is anytime all shareholders must get paid by law at the same time. So they cut all shareholders every quarter a dividend check. So you're part of a company, that company grows, the shareholders get dividends. Every quarter you get a check from the growth of a company. Make sense? Why did our economic professor just teach us this? You get this thing done in an hour. It takes 4 years for them to teach you this stuff. The biggest investment you can make, actually the second business, is in your business. C. C is your business. Who's gonna work your business harder than you? But we work more for other companies than we do ourselves. You gotta be serious about your own business. And for $149 a month, you can just open one with us. And we do all the lead work, the marketing, the videos, the talking. You just bring people to your business. Make sense? D, the biggest thing you can invest in is yourself. The reason most people don't succeed is because they don't have any faith and belief in themselves. Our training, our programs, speakers like myself, the top producers, we build you up more than we can build a company. We build you first. Because see, when you get stronger, this is easy. Does that make sense? You might see, I talk with a little posture and attitude and swag because I do this. I'm living this. So can nobody come in here and tell us what don't work and it don't work and we don't work? Yeah. All right. Quote, under the C column, if you're not investing, you're not even on the road to wealth. If you're not investing, you're not even on the road to wealth. But most people are not investing because they don't have no additional money. So if you're not investing and making money in your sleep, it's because somebody else got all your money and they smart enough to invest it. You gotta stop working and making other people's investments grow. All right, let's get out of here with this. You got 2 objectives now that you finally can meet. 2. Your 2 financial objectives are: 1, your current lifestyle is paid for by your labor. So you go down here to the lower third of the sheet. You got 2 financial objectives. How many? 2. Your current lifestyle is paid for by your labor. Your future lifestyle is paid for by your investments. The reason most people don't have a future is because they're not investing. The reason they're not investing is because they're making all their money with labor. See the rat race? And if you make all your money with labor, it's taxed the highest. So now you don't have no money because now you can't invest because now you're paying the most taxes because you're making money laboriously. Yeah. That's the rat race. So we got to figure out a way, and the home-based business is the first way to get over the hump to bring in more money so you can start investing. You see it? And the one company, the blank company is one. The one company making wealth real. Financial. Actually, it's make wealth real financial. So for the camera's sake, watch this. The one company, make wealth real financial. We're the one company that takes all of these things under one umbrella. All of these, the 6-figure playbook, all these firms and experts do everything we've been talking about for you on your website. You upload we take care of it, right? The one company doing that via our service, which is called the Financial Edge membership. We want to give everybody a financial edge, the Financial Edge membership. So Brian, how do I go from $5 a day up to $8,500 a day? Easy. At the end, we're going to ask you if you're a 2 or a 1, right? All those 2s and 1s add up. Those are points. And the more points you get, the higher your daily check is. That's it. So here's how this works. In summary, A, at the bottom square, lower my taxes. Lower my taxes. That's the biggest thing. The experts got to lower your taxes. B, raise my score. You got to raise your scores. It's a quick summary of everything that we do and some. C, destroy my debt. Destroy my debt. D, grow my assets. Now, before I give you the final blank on D, I want y'all to see something. Do you realize that A, B, and C, all these are our uploads? We're not meeting every week. We ain't going to fly on a Zoom or something, or fly to California to sit down. All these are uploads. Upload your 3 reports. Our experts take them and start fixing your credit. Upload 2 pay stubs. Our experts look at it and start adjusting your W-4 to make the money go back in your paycheck. Upload your debt. Our experts look at it, show you how to pay it off faster. These are just uploads. This stuff takes 1 hour. The only one, D, schedule a consultation. Now we're gonna look at your finances and you're gonna get now we're gonna look at your finances and you're gonna get with Get to the video outline and start flowing. Is on. Where was I? Consultation. The only one that requires a consultation, that's D, is grow my assets. Now we're going to look at your finances, see what's best for you. You get with a qualified, trained, and certified advisor. Now they're going to look at your investments and give you ideas on how they can grow. Does that make sense? We got a program called Private Banking. We got a program called Land Banking, where you can buy land in California, wholesale, and sell it retail. Our firm gets the land at a discount. We got all kinds of cool things. Now you landowners on land in California, you ain't got to manage it or nothing. You bought it with a wholesale discount. Now you sell it retail. Now you give your kids a deed. Oh, y'all know? Okay, all right, don't worry about it. So let us know if you are a number 2 or a number 1. Okay? A number 2, where it says member only, that's the $99 per month. That means, Brian, I don't want the daily checks. I don't want the 5 a day. I don't want the 200 a day. I don't want the 8,500 a day. I don't want the bonuses. I just want the experts to fix my personal finances. Right? We call that our cash flow piece. You just want to help your cash flow get better, but you don't want to make any money daily. Make sense? That's number 2. How much per month? 99. 99 per month. Now, number 1 says, Brian, I'm all in. If I'm going to be doing that, I might as well be telling some people, because if I don't get people around me straight, then they're going to be coming for me, and I ain't got nothing for them. No, I'm just kidding. Right? Now, number 1 says, let's get my finance in order, and let's refer people as well. I can pop in this video, Brian, let you do the talking. I can get your room full of people and let one of your top producers come in. I need to get people involved in their own home-based business so we can all win together. And number 1 is $149 per month. Both of these you can start today. It doesn't matter to me whether you're number 2 or 1. What matters to me is that you get started. I'm going to end with this. I want y'all to get this. Have faith in yourself. I know you got questions. Don't worry about it. I got questions. And I'm the highest paid member in the company. I still got questions. But I got my questions answered as I was getting paid. Does that make sense? What amazes me about people, especially my friends, I don't know if your friends are anything like mine, we put way more faith in other people's hands, and we put our life in other people's hands, and they got a million questions about $149, right? I got on an airplane recently. I didn't know who the pilot was, but I got on. All right? Do you think I asked for his license? No. Do you think I even saw him? No. The door was closed by the time I got on. Door closed. Don't know if he licensed. Don't know if he been drinking. Don't know. Don't know if his license expired. Don't know if I'm his first flight. Don't know if he has a co-pilot until he got right on. You trust and you have faith that people are going to do what they're supposed to do. Am I right? Yeah. Been speaking a lot. My throat been bothering me lately, so I got a prescription. But y'all know you ever had a prescription and they just scribble? You're like, what was that? And they say, go take it to the doctor. You're like, he can't read this. Y'all know there's something called death by decimal? means the communication between the doctor and the pharmacist, he put the decimal in the wrong spot and gave you too much prescription. People died over a decimal. I took the prescription. He said, I need this for my throat. I said, cool. He slid the thing. I slid him the paper. He slid back the pills. That was it. My life is in their hands. And they asked him no questions. We're getting here for $99. And folks act like, boy, that's the biggest thing there. I know I got a couple questions now. The person at McDonald's slid you a burger. All you saw was a hand. Come out. You ain't asked the manager nothing. You didn't see the grade on the wall. You didn't see nothing. But we get in here for $99 and all of our antennas just go up. That's usually what keeps us broke, is because we don't have enough faith in ourselves that we can upload these documents, that somebody successful is going to train you, but we put our lives in everybody else's hands and we wonder why we're not ending up where we want to go. So have faith in yourself. Make a decision. To not decide is actually to decide. To think about it is to decide. Because all you're going to do is go home and talk to yourself what? Out of it. That's what you're going to do. Who said, Brian, I'm going to do some research? I'm like, what's research? Google.
Right.
I was going to pop up with me. No. Me, one of my teammates, one of us in this room will pop up. Like, you could have asked me live. No, I'm here for you. Yeah, take that. So listen, we got refreshments in there. Give it the person that invited you. They're gonna give you an intake form. You can sign up on your cell phone. You can sign up on the intake form, and they'll put you in whatever's easiest for you. The main thing is that you guys go ahead and get started. I'm Brian Bean. I see the magazines. Let us know if you're 2 or 1. God bless. Thanks for your time.